Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, there is no way I can do that. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Setema, Gali, the founder and creator of the Prosperity Revolution, a global movement that helps you to get out of scarcity and into prosperity every single day. A movement where people have value, things do not, where money is a result of helping people, where you're rewarded for creating value for others, and where prosperity is not the result of luck, but a predictable steps and formulas, and where happiness is the ultimate goal. Oh my goodness. Incredible day in the gym today. So this morning I got up and I did my daily focus, jumped in my truck, drove to the gym, and it's leg day. If you've ever done legs and lifted heavy legs or like high volume legs, you know that it is a day from hell. It is hard. It is gritty. You get headaches, like if you're really pushing yourself. So we got into the gym today, and a week ago on leg day, we were doing legs and I left early. Like my back was hurting. I'm like, dude, I'm so out of shape. This sucks. So, right, good week of eating, good week of working out. Today I was like, this is the day. I had no caffeine in my body, no pre-workout, just feeling good. Had a protein shake, some peanut butter, banana, almond milk, and I'm like, let's go. So I warm up, do about a quarter mile on the treadmill, do a lot of mobility stretching, and we're doing a machine called the Humbler. Right? Arsenal makes this machine called the Humbler. It humbles you, right? It's hard. So we started doing this, and a week ago, I did 3 plates on the Humbler, 345 plates. And it hurt my back. It hurt my legs. I was discouraged. I'm like, dude, this sucks. And, my mind immediately goes to this place, the default, which is I start telling negative stories. Oh my gosh, I'm so weak. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? That's where my mind, the default goes to. Unless I am dialed in and tuned in, right? Unless I'm locked in, dialed in, ready to go. So today we warm up. I put one plate on, do a set. We put 2 plates on, do a set. These are warm-up sets. And then I put 3 plates on and I do 12 reps, or maybe 8 reps. And my brother Ed's like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, no, there's no way. You see, in my mind, under the heavy weight, there's a mental threshold. Yes, there's a physical threshold, but almost always we can do way more than we think we can. So the mental threshold is usually lower than the physical threshold. And so I do these reps on my first work set. A work set is, it's a set that counts, not a warm up. And I get done doing the work set and, we record it. I watch the film so I can see how fast I'm moving. And my workout brother Ed's like, look, man, you could do more. Yeah, look, and he's talking to me, he's influencing me, he's convincing me, because in my mind, there is absolutely no way that I can do this. You see, I get under the weight, I start to push, and I'm going so slow, ever so slow. I think I'm going to drop the weight. Now, he's behind me, spotting me on the machine, and I'm just like, there's no way. And in my mind, there's no way. And then I just have this moment. I'm stretching out. I'm catching my breath. My heart's like about to jump out of my chest. And he's like, we got to remember why we're doing this. And I thought about my sons. And in the weight room, while the music is blasting, while my heart is pounding, while I'm starting to sweat, I thought about my boys. I have 3 sons, Zion, Israel, and Judah. And I thought about my sons pushing themselves in the gym, pushing themselves in speed, pushing themselves when they're practicing the bass guitar, the drums, the piano, the ukulele, when we're boxing at night in the garage. I think about my sons and like, Setema, you better push yourself. You better push yourself. And so one set down and I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know if I could do this. I'm like, dude, you got this. So we slapped 4 plates on, which on this machine, it's very heavy. And in my mind, I'm working myself up. I'm like, I got this. And I start to tell a different story. I got this. I've had good sleep all week. I've eaten good all week. My business, not my business, my workout brother, Ed, like my brother's like, I got you, man. Let's go. And I get under the way and I'm like, because a week ago, there's no way. Even today when we started, I'm like, there is no way I'm going up to 4 plates. Nope, not going to do it. Nope. Because why? Because of my past experiences, because of how heavy the weight felt, because of how tight, all these factors that then kind of start to create a fabric of truth or so-called truth. And the real truth is, deep down inside, I wanted to do more. And the only way to get better is to actually push yourself to blast through the threshold and to embrace the pain. So I get on the plate, it's like, I'm getting ready to go. I'm dialed in. And I get under, we got 4 plates on, and it is heavy. So I lift it off the rack. I release the safety mechanism, and down I go into the first one. And I come up, and dude, it's the fastest rep I did all day. And then I do a second one. And then I do a third one. And then I did my 4th one, and I was going so slow, and then I racked it. He's like, you had one more? I was like, shoot, are you sure I had one more? It's crazy. I did way more today than I thought was possible. I couldn't even do this last week. I couldn't even do one rep last week. I could not even do one rep. Why is this so significant, my friends? Because many times in our lives, in our businesses, in our jobs, in our marriage with our children, we think there is no way I can do that. Nope. There's no way I could, double or triple or 10x my income. There's no way I could go run a half marathon or a marathon. There is no way that I could heal or mend or forgive a relationship or someone that I'm angry at. There's no way God could forgive me. And we have all these stories that say there's no way I could do that. There's absolutely no way. And then there's a few things that really shift. Number one, you got to cut off your past. Like, you cut off the past. I was thinking about last week. Last week is a week ago. 7 days have gone by since last week. I've slept better. I've eaten better. I'm 5 pounds lighter, right? I don't have any stimulants in my body. Like, I'm good. Number 2, I got an amazing workout brother by the name of Ed. My boys call him Uncle Ed. He's my guy. He's my brother. And he knows, I know how, when people's weight, I know what they can do. And oftentimes having an amazing spotter and a support and a team and a group of guys or gals or a support group, they can help you see the blind spots, the things you can't see, and they can really make the difference for you. And then third, I had to change my story. I had to change it from there's no way that I can to, okay, take all the evidence that, all the positive and positive influences, all the positive messages, and go to work on it and get under the weight. Now, what's the lesson here for you, my friends? You can absolutely do more than you think you can. You can do more than you think you can because your mental threshold keeps you playing smaller. In the physical realm, right, that we're talking about your physical capacity, your muscles, your endurance, your stamina, your movement. I'm 45. I do not want to age without grace, right? Without movement. I want to age gracefully. So I continue to push my body and to run and to bike and to hike. And last night we were boxing in the garage. Put Rocky music on, and I'm teaching my boys how to jab and cross and pivot and duck and move and hook and keep their guard. I'm active with my sons. Are you moving your body? Or are you letting your body tell you, there's no way I can do this. It's too hard. It's hard because you're not doing it. It's hard because you're not practicing. It's hard because you don't push your big body or your weak body. Just push yourself. Spiritually, how could you ever develop a spiritual capacity if you don't do the things that invite spirituality or God's spirit or higher power into your world? How could you ever develop a spiritual capacity? It's like trying to shoot free throws in basketball. You never learn how to shoot free throws until you visualize free throws, dribble the ball, and shoot thousands upon thousands, and then condition your body and then feed your body. Same thing with your spiritual life and your spirituality. Are you doing the things that would invite greater spiritual capacity into your life? And there's some people who are like, oh, this is so boring. And some people can sit in church, right? If you're a church type, and be like, oh, this is so boring. Well, what do you want them to do? Entertain you? Do you want them to get up on the stage like at the Grammys and like be half naked and do provocative hip thrust moves? Or do you want to hear the word of God? I would stop looking for entertainment in your spiritual life and start looking for revelatory experiences. Develop a frequency and a capacity and this threshold so that you can hear the voice, so that you are away from the world. The world makes a lot of noise, my friends. It's loud. Even our devices, cell phones and our computers. I don't sleep with my phone by my bed. I can't. I've got limits on social media every day. Once it hits, I'm like, I'm done, because it's such a sedation. So I want more of God in my life than I do of worldly influence. Are you doing the things that allow that to happen for you? Relationally, let's take this lesson to the relationships. Do you have a capacity to spend time with your children and really enjoy it? Or are you stuck to the computers? Last night, so it was like one of those days where, I played pickleball with my wife, worked out, did a lot of work. We hung out with my wife, and then my boys came home. We all just kind of chilled out. Just chilled. And my sons were like, Dad, this is so boring. I'm like, we're together. You don't have to be entertained. And then it's crazy. True story. Everyone's on their devices, and I'm looking at my house like, what is going on? Like, everyone's on laptops, so I was like, all right, let's laptops down. We got on the piano. We started singing. My son's on the bass. My son's on the ukulele. I'm on the piano. We're singing, and my other one's on the drums. And it was so fun. It was so fun. So develop a capacity and increase your threshold to be able to enjoy experiences with your family. Communicate, talk, listen, set outcomes, set targets that require you guys to get to know each other, to have conversations, to have dates and time with your kids and time with your spouse, right? How is your sexual capacity and intimacy capacity with your spouse? If you're not talking about sex and intimacy and God and family and finances and money, if you're not talking about the depressions and the highs and the lows that you're going through, you have a very superficial marriage. And it's just a matter of time before you, one, cheat, or she cheats, or he cheats on you, or two, you're going to get divorced, or number three, you just be miserable roommates for the rest of your life. Because some of you are like, oh, I would never get a divorce. I mean, we're miserable, but I would never get a divorce. I'm like, you've missed the point. So my question to you is, do what's required to develop a capacity in your marriage and with your family. Right? Unplug from the world, set some boundaries and guidelines that help you to have greater connection, greater conversation, greater communication with your spouse and your family. And finally, the place that I love where this really applies, you can do more than you think you can, is in the business world, in the financial world. See, a lot of people, they're so used to the way they grew up. They have a threshold of pain, right? This threshold of pain, meaning this financial threshold is like, I can only make X amount of dollars. Now, listen, if you are a person who truly does want to have more money and wealth and influence in your life, then this is for you. If you don't, then you can probably just turn this off right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want more, you've got to learn how to increase the financial threshold and your financial pain tolerance. Like, you can handle more than you can handle financially, which means you've got to develop skill sets that allow you to create more value, communicate more value, deliver more value, lead the creators of value. Right? That's what you've got to do. And, my invitation to you is, can you increase your financial threshold of pain? And are you willing to do that? If you're in your business, let's just say you generate, let's just throw an easy number out. Let's say you generate $1 million a year in your business. And that's like a good, and at first, when you first got there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. Or even 100,000. I remember making my first 100,000 and I thought, oh my gosh, I made 6 figures. Right? And then you're like, that's really not that much money. And then, you double that or triple that or 10x that. And then, after a while, you're like, that really isn't that much money. And this is not about money. This is about expansion. This is about you growing, not contracting. This is about you making a difference in the world with your gifts and talents and your skill sets and your unique abilities versus you just sitting on a beach doing nothing, not making a difference in the world. The more money you make, the more people you help. And if you ever find yourself ashamed because of your success, go back and challenge the stories you believe. We've all been trained, taught, and educated something. Sometimes we just got to look at what we've been trained, taught, and educated to believe is true and then let it go and take on a new set of beliefs around wealth and money and contribution and giving back. That's amazing. So that's the podcast today. My legs are throbbing right now as I'm shooting this podcast, and I'm very grateful for you. Here's my one ask of you. If you haven't had a chance yet, would you go over to iTunes? If you're listening to this, just go leave a review for me today. That would mean the world to me. That helps me out to get more traction in the marketplace. If you'll do that, awesome. If you've already done that, I invite you to go ahead and message. Go ahead and shoot this over to somebody. Let them know that this podcast has made a difference for you and share it. Take a screenshot, tag me. For those of you who do that on Instagram stories or Facebook, I appreciate it so much. You mean the world to me. I'm grateful. Go push your thresholds. Go embrace the pain. Go expand your capacities so that you can do really what you're capable of doing. And I promise you, in every part of your life, physical, spiritual, relational, financial, you have way more capacity than you give yourself credit for. You can do way more than you think you can. And if you're willing to do the work, you can expand that. Yes, you can expand that. You can deepen your joys. You can expand your relationships, and you can do so much more that you really enjoy this life, because it really is 100% up to you. Have a great day, my friends. I appreciate you listening in. Have a good one.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. We all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.